Good evening. Today is day 15 of my 22 push-ups a day, and it's in recognition of the 22 documented veterans that commit suicide every day of every week, of every month, of every year. What I want to talk about tonight is why the suicide rate among veterans may be more than 22 a day, and what I'm going to tell you comes from a CNN report dated November of 2013. Every day 22 veterans take their own lives, and that's a suicide every 65 minutes. The figures released by the Department of Veterans Affairs are based on the agency's own data and numbers that are reported by 21 states from 1999 to 2011. I point out that's 21 states. Those states represent only 40% of the U.S. population. The other states, including the two largest states, California and Texas, and the fifth largest, Illinois, did not make any data available. Therefore, 60 to 70% of the U.S. population is not even counted in those 22 veterans a day who commit suicide. Pretty interesting numbers. The problem, as cited by an expert, is that there's no uniform reporting system for deaths in America, and it's usually up to a funeral director or coroner to enter veteran status and suicide on a death certificate. And birth and death certificates are only as good as the information that's put in. Who else might not be counted? A homeless person who has no one to vouch for as to whether he or she is a veteran? Or some family members don't want to divulge a suicide because of the stigma associated with mental illness, so they may pressure a coroner not to list death as suicide. And the Austin American-Statesman newspaper last year revealed an alarmingly high percentage of veterans who died in this manner in Texas, a state that did not send in data for the VA report. There's also other deaths. There's deaths by overdose, deaths by alcohol and substance abuse, death by traffic accident, and suicide by cop. Those are methods of suicide that don't get reported as suicides. So, in sum, this is a very good report. I'd ask you to read it, and I'll post the link on my Facebook site. But in sum, the numbers may be much more than 22 a day. They could be twice that number if we knew the true numbers. So I think the epidemic is much greater than what we think. Okay, let me do my 22 push-ups. Okay, here we go. To the 22 or more veterans who have committed suicide today.